The Inspiration Project is a collaborative effort between the University of Rochester and CP Rochester that connects students with consumers served by CP Rochester. During the spring semester, students who show strength in writing meet once a week with a group of adults from CP Rochester. Together, everyone works to produce a complete, purposeful, polished work in the form of a story, a short memoir, or a selection of poems. The result of this inspirational work is an anthology published in print and shared at this Capstone reading event.
Okay, well, thank you everyone. Welcome. This is such a terrifically large turnout. I'm so happy to see everyone here. I'm going to start by passing this to Nicole Salentra, who is the Vice President of Residential Services at CP Rochester.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming to tonight's event to support this exciting time. I just want to say a couple thank yous. First off, Professor Scott for her dedication to this program now in its 7th year, and for her collaborative effort with Tina Bennett, my friend, and Tori and Latrice, all who were part of the inception of this wonderful program. I want to thank Abby and Jenny for running the program this time around, and Jeff Gutkin and Christy Powers for coming out Thursday nights for a long period of time, supporting the individuals. And of course, I can't forget the residential staff and the residential managers for getting everybody here safely on their Thursday nights so that they can perform for us tonight. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. I think anybody who has attended any of these events or found themselves in the back of the IT Center on a Thursday evening can tell you that this program is just bursting with energy and a lot of people. There are a lot of people involved in this project, and as a result, I have quite a few people to thank before we make our introductions. Thank you, Nicole. Professor Scott is the driving force behind this project, and she is definitely here in spirit. Her spirit just exudes throughout this program. Thank you to Deb Ross-Nil and the staff at the Writing and Speaking and Argument program. Thank you to the English department, to Tina, who is just so supportive and enthusiastic, to Christy and Jeff, who just made everything run so efficiently every week. Thank you to Zach, who has been with the project all 4 years of his undergraduate career and also just really was on top of everything. He's responsible for this presentation you see up here. Justina McCarty and Kelsey Peterson. They also participated in the Inspiration Project all throughout their undergrad and now have come back after graduating with the skills and experience they've gained after graduating that they really brought to this project, and they were super instrumental. Thank you to Aggie Brangle, who has been such a pleasure to work with in executing everything. And she has created this lovely anthology you can read from tonight. And thank you to Noah Ullman, who was responsible for all of the photography, both in the slideshow and in the anthologies. And I think one of the most important thanks goes to all of our participants, to our students, and to everyone from CP Rochester for just creating the work that you are going to see tonight, for creating the spirit behind this project. I had a bunch of things that I was going to say about the project, but I really think that the preface written by our lovely Latrice Person speaks better to what our project represents. So I'm going to read that, and I believe Latrice is going to help a bit too. So, as treats race. One of the things that inspires me about the Inspiration Project is that everyone is very talented and accepting. Some people are willing to learn different things about different people and learn different ways to work together as a team. I think of this program as a puzzle. Each of us is one piece of a colorful puzzle of poetry, playwriting, and memoirs. The pieces are different, but in the end we all fit together as one big world of storytelling. If we look inside the puzzle, we can see hope for the future. We've been working to put the pieces of this puzzle together for 2 months.
We hope that you enjoy our presentation and that it helps change your mind for the better. Enjoy our presentation.
My name is Toma Gomes.
And I'm Becca, and we wrote 2 stories. We couldn't just write one. So one of them is fiction and one of them is nonfiction. So we're going to read a piece of the fiction story, and just for some context, would you say it's like your dream life, Tony?
Yeah.
Dream life. So it takes place in Atlanta, and we're going to start right before a party with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. The people that were friends with the housewives arrived at Tony's mansion in a big, cool party bus. The party bus had 2 sides, men's side and ladies' side. When Tony and her friends found out that new people arrived, they came downstairs to check them out. When the guests walked up to the door, they had to stop at a big, pretty glass wall. Tony's trusted bodyguards at the door took their IDs, wrote down their names, and read them aloud so that Tony could decide if she was going to let them in. After the announcement, it was time for Tony's big decision. But then, Tony let her best friend Cynthia decide who came in. Cynthia proclaimed that they could come inside only on one condition. That condition was that they had to give a true emotional story about their lives before they stepped into the house, and they had to act it out. Tony, her friends, and her bodyguards took a vote and then had a fight about this. Once they decided, they relaxed on the white marble floor with a pink carpet in the entry of her home while the people prepared their stories and acts. They decided to have a big dinner with all of Tony's favorite foods. At the dinner, people took turns telling stories. Tony, who was sitting at the head of the table because she was queen of the house, blinked a glass to get everyone's attention. Once everyone's eyes were on Tony, she presented something very special to her. She ran across the room, threw her hands in the air, and pointed at her beloved boyfriend, Michael. She loved him because he gave her lots of gifts and love, and because he was a DJ and it was cool to go to parties with him. All of a sudden, Michael got down on one knee and pulled out a sparkling emerald ring for Tony. He asked her to marry him in front of all of her favorite people. She couldn't wait to start planning her wedding. She wanted it to be all pink, and Michael was okay with that because he loved her. She wanted it to be in a really pretty park and get married under an arch of pink flowers. There would be a big party after. Everyone in the room thought that it was so cute that her boyfriend was so special to her, but he wasn't the only thing that was special to her. Her big pink car was very special to her. She even had a chauffeur that drove her around and opened the door for her. Not only did she have a chauffeur, but she had a chef too. But everyone in the room already knew that because they were eating the best food of their lives. Another thing that was special to Tony was the bookstore that she owned. Tony's bookstore was right in the house, so she could go whenever she wanted. Sometimes she made a surprise appearance and signed autographs in the books that she wrote for guests. The books had glass on them to protect them because they meant a lot to Tony. Tony's bookstore was so important to her because she loved to write in her journal, and more importantly, write true stories. She loved to read them as well. Her last guests, Tyler Perry and Oprah, starred in Tony's favorite book. Tony had so many books that they were overflowing on the shelves. She was going to have to open another bookstore. When she opened a new store, she wanted it to be locked with a pink key.
Hi,
And
Our story is actually very lengthy. We had trouble figuring out exactly what we wanted to read to you, so it's a little bit longer, but we figured you couldn't grab the mic from us at this point. So we're just going to go for it, because you won't be able to get the whole story without at least a little bit more. So this is called Murder at Moonstone High, the Rumor Mill story. It's going to feature me, and we have Zach here, and Ash. The spot shines center stage on the lifeless bodies strewn as a prop on the dusty floor. 6 cops and a crime lab photographer are doing a seemingly choreographed milling around the stage. Gasps silence the actors' chit-chat as they file into the high school auditorium while echoes of whispers fill the cavernous space.
What?
Why?
how could it be?
Suicide? So sad.
Really? Murder, you think? Like that?
Brent? You mean our stagehand, Brent? Brent Kincaid?
Oh dear God, no!
Facing the auditorium, director Simon Montgomery lifts his hands into the air. Settle down, folks. I have some sad news to share. Unfortunately, I discovered Brent Kincaid dead on stage about 2 hours ago. I called the police, who are finishing their initial investigation now. From first glance, it seems an apparent suicide. But because we were probably the last to see Brent last night, the police would like to talk with each of us to see if we can shed any light on the circumstances surrounding his death. Amidst the idle murmurs from the cast, a strikingly tall, ultra-slender woman stands, swishing her waist-length, full black hair over her shoulder. Her patrician voice cuts through the increasing chatter like a bolt of lightning.
What you both into your moment? I can't get along all day with you to answer questions. I should go first. After all, I'm ready.
A gaggle of chorus girls interrupts, mimicking the woman. I'm Raven Valentino, heiress of the Italian publisher Valentino Volumes and the star of the show. Simon sighs. Good grief, Raven. Ladies, show some respect. A man has died here, one of our own. Pardon me, Miss Valentino, says the officer. Our intent is to make these interviews as quick as possible. We'd like to start with the last person to see the deceased alive. And that would be the stage manager, Charlie Parker. Unless, Raven, you stayed to help Charlie and Brent adjust the rigging last night, Simon smugly interjects. All eyes follow Charlie as he walks dutifully down to the officer. Uncontrollable weeping draws the actor's eyes away from Charlie to Ashley Stevens, a tenor soloist, cradling his face in his hands. Why? Why now? Raven flings herself around in her seat. Geez, enough of the theatrics already. Yeah, we're all shocked to see someone in our midst die, but who was Brent anyways? None of us knew him that well. He almost always looked so down and out. Perhaps killing himself was his way out, a way to gain happiness. Ashley hurls the wad of Kleenex at Raven. He snaps, how can you suggest that? Yeah, you're right, you don't know him, but I do. He has more heart and more love for life than most. He'd never kill himself. Someone murdered him. Ashley scurries up the aisle, letting the doors clang shut behind him. Charlie's wail of dismay pulls the cast's attention back toward the piano. What? Murdered? You think I murdered Brent? No. Brent's death becomes the main topic of conversation for the actors and stage crew, all alumni of Moonstone High.
Oh my God, I can't believe Brent died. He was such a nice guy.
Why would he commit suicide?
He killed himself.
Simon said it was a suicide, so that's what I believe.
Raven was adamant that Brent fit the suicide type.
Come on now, what does Raven know?
He was murdered.
If he was murdered, where's the smoking gun?
Did he leave a suicide note?
Does everyone who kills himself leave a suicide note?
But what if it wasn't suicide?
Who'd kill him then?
I heard the police suspect Charlie.
He doesn't have an alibi.
Was it handled with Charlie and Brent that night?
But Charlie sent her to the car to wait for him.
What about Raven? I don't remember seeing her at the bar until later.
And that's the first section of the story. Read through the anthology to see more.
Hi. So this is going to be an excerpt from a story about friendship by Patrick here. So just some context, we're going to read the end of it, and the story is about his family and his mother, who is in the audience right now. Do you have anything else to say? You want to add? Want to start?
Until famous and proud friendship.
We do a lot of stuff, like going shopping, and I enjoy doing that because she's not allowed to carry heavy stuff and I can. I do help her because I don't want her to fall. I don't want her to get hurt because I care about her. She can push the cart, but I carry the heavy stuff, like the milk. Or potatoes, those are heavy too. Shopping is my favorite thing to do with my mom. I think it's one of her favorite things to do too.
Now thought a lot about what I was going to write and be out there. I know that it's a move. It's on there. Will you move? Go ahead.
Like when it was me and my mom in Mendon, and we moved and we packed a lot of stuff and furniture. A lot of stuff. We got rid of some things, but not the pool. You can't pack that. It won't fit. It's full of water. It was a big house, I know that. I was living with my mom and my father out in Mendon for a long time.
My mom moving now make me think of moving from London. This story is for everybody, yeah. All the stuff, all you.
I like being here. I love writing. Yeah, I do. I like it because I like making stories and being funny. This story is different because in the other ones I wrote, I was talking about my trips. This one's about me and my sister and my mom and her moving.
In the West, and my family. Everybody, they listen, patient. It's nice and happy.
That's all we got.
Hi, I'm Sarah Lee. And this is Jeff. Jeff didn't bring his iPad, so I'm going to have to read it all, fortunately. We wrote a poem about friendship, and we're really excited to share it with you. I've enjoyed spending all the time with Jeff that I have had. Introduction. This year has been fun. I went to the Inspiration Project, where every Thursday I come to the University of Rochester and work on my poem. I couldn't wait to come back because I do this every year. I've been writing stories about myself for the past 6 years, but this year I wanted to try something new. I wanted to change from the usual story writing, so I turned to a poem. Poems are fun to write. They challenge you to put your thoughts into a different rhythm of speaking. This poem is about friendship. I chose this topic because I have a lot of good friends who are there if I need an extra hand. I started the poem with the definition of what I think friendship is. Then I went and talked about specific friends who I know fit this definition of friendship. Friendship is important to me because life is great and it's nice to have people to share it with. Jeff's poem. A friend is a person who hears what I'm saying. A friend is a person who is loving and sensitive. Someone who responds to my feelings. They are always there for me. We have things on our mind. We talk a lot. We work together and hang out. I'm always there for them. Laughter leads to happiness. They make me happy, encouraging me to do the right thing, even when the right thing seems a little hard. They are trustworthy with secrets. My friend Bill is a person who hears what I'm saying. My friend Bill is a person who is loving and sensitive. One day it was really sunny. I said, "Hey Bill, what's so funny?" He came up behind me with some reindeer ears and put them on my head. We all started laughing. He took a picture of me and them. Bill also shows me his bike. This isn't just any bike, it's a red motorcycle. That's my friend Bill. My friend Josh is the person who hears what I'm saying. My friend Josh is the person who is loving and sensitive. He showed me how to set up a game. It's called The Simpsons Tapped Out. The dad Homer blew up the town, and now I have to rebuild it. But that's beside the point. Josh and I go shopping for the room at CP. We're always joking around. He's a good friend.
I'm Heather. I wrote the stories called Princess Heather.
I'm Maggie, and I helped Heather write this wonderful story. We're very excited to share it with you guys.
It's dedicated to Grandpa Joe.
You got it, Heather.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful castle that stood on a hill in Neverland. It was surrounded by a purple sparkly gate. Guarded by Peter Pan. Inside lived a wonderful family whose daughter, Princess Heather, was an amazing cake decorator.
Princess Heather's family was very big, and she lived with all of them. Her mother, the Queen Janelle of Never Never Land, loved to eat the food and cakes her daughters made, and so did her husband, King Brady. The Queen also had a younger brother named Ken. Princess Heather also lived in the castle with her twin sister, Princess Holly, her older sister, Princess Jolene, and Jolene's children, Leah and Stephen. Usually when the family was done with dinner and dessert, her grandma Rose would do all of the dishes. Everyone did their part.
That day, Princess Heather was making a gigantic wedding cake for the royal wedding. And she couldn't find her one cup. Princess Heather looked high and low for her missing one cup. Till a drawer opened and appeared. And she said, "Thank you, Grandpa Joe." Grandpa Joe's spirit was always helping her around the kitchen. He was her biggest supporter and inspiration. Princess Heather was making a tie-dye zebra cake for them. Fiona, can you please get me some flavored fairy dust from the butterfly garden? Princess Heather asked Fiona. Fiona was Heather's baking assistant. Of course, Princess Heather. And she went out to the butterfly garden to collect fairy dust. Suddenly, she remembered that she didn't tell Fiona what flavor to pick. We need blue punch and medical raspberry for the royal wedding cake.
Fiona smiled. Sounds great. Then they heard a crashing sound from the kitchen and looked at each other surprised. They rushed back to the kitchen and there was something missing. The cake! Then Fiona looked out of the window and saw 4 of the pterodactyl dragons flying away with cake in their claws. They heard a sound. The dragons had come back for more. This time, they looked very different. They were tie-dye zebra-colored. Princess Heather went outside to speak to them. Why did you take the cake I spent so long making? It looked so good. We wanted to eat it, they replied. But now we look pretty. I know, you look like my cake. The dragons looked down guiltily. We're sorry we ate your cake, but it was really good. What am I supposed to do now? The wedding is tomorrow. The dragons replied, we can help you make a new one.
They stayed up all night to make sure the cake was done for the royal wedding. After she decorated the cake with her tie-dye zebra fondant, the royal wedding went on the way it should have before. The recent king and queen of Everland called Princess Heather up after the wedding and told her how delicious her cake.
And I'm Ellen, and Jane wrote a story called The Human Body and the Bus. This story is about health. This is an important part of life. Everyone has to think about health. You only have one body, so you better take care of it if you want to feel good in life. When humans have a fever, we feel really sick. We drink water, take medicine, and take our temperature with a thermometer. When a bus is sick, it feels like it's burning. You turn it off and you open the hood to see what's wrong. What is going on? You can use a dipstick to diagnose if the engine needs water and oil. When we go to the doctor, he or she uses a stethoscope to hear the heart and lungs. Humans have brains to think and walk, talk and feel, just like the bus has a computer that makes it run. The bus has a motor and transmission so it can drive, whereas humans have hearts and blood so we can live. Now a bus has no emotions. That's the only thing that's different from humans.
I am going to give the bus a name. But the bus.
The bus of health.
One time I was in the
Doctor's office.
I was on the
Bus of health. The bus had many new ways of seeing into the body. Now I'm giving the human a name, Micah. Unlike Bud, Micah has emotions he has to deal with. Now I will tell you more about Micah and Bud. Let us get on the Bud bus. Most people can choose if they get on the Bud bus because they have a free will. So in many ways, Micah has many choices about his health. But believe it or not, he is more at risk when he decides not to go to the doctor because anything could go wrong at any time. So Micah needs to get on the Bud bus. It is very important to get on the bud bus if you want good health. But when Micah is on his own, he doesn't have anyone to watch over him but himself. If you don't take care of yourself on your own, no one else will do it. When you get really sick, you don't always know what is wrong, and if you don't go to the doctor, it may be too late. When you live on your own, you can decide everything you want in life, whether it's good or bad.
But a group home, you can't decide everything. You have to go to
The doctor. There's no choice not to go to the doctor. When you live in a group home, you are forced to work on stuff that Micah isn't forced to work on. But living in a group home in a way is a good thing because we are on top of our health. In a group home, we have people who watch over our health. So living in a group home has its good points health-wise.
Hi, I am Tom Casada, my partner for the Inspiration Project. This year was just Alexander. I really enjoyed the project and was really glad to be part of it. We wrote my story together in the form of the biography to tell people about my life and hopefully inspire other people to make people happy. The handmade card at the desk in his room of his house on Kings Highway. You can often find Tom hard at work. What is his work, you may ask? He replied, making people happy. Tom's favorite thing is in the world to make people happy. And he knows many ways to do that. Tom loves to send happiness in the mail to people all around through the hundreds of birthday cards he sends each year. Ever since he was expired at the age of 21, Tom loves to send cards to everyone he knows to help them celebrate birthdays, congratulatory events, anniversaries, holidays, and more. He stamps and decorates every card with love and sends them out. He has happiness when he receives thank you notes in return, and sometimes even stamps, stickers, and card material from people as well. Tom has touched many hearts through his card. Besides his family and friends, he sends cards to relatives as far as Wisconsin, staff at CP Rochester, doctors, nurses, teachers, and retired teacher. His physical therapist, his priest, New York Senator Joe Roebuck, friends at St. Bernard's Apartment, and realtors in many realty grouping, including John Geyser Realty and Not Neighbor Realty. Every time he meets someone new, he asks for their address and birthday. Tom's sending is so large that he has to have 5 calendars to keep track of all the dates. And he was even interviewed by Don Elhart on Channel 13. His kindness. Tom was more than overjoyed to be interviewed, to work that time of sending cards. Nothing compared to the joy and thank yous. He receives his love, feelings of happiness that writing and sending his card give him. Also say that the cards keep me out of trouble.
I'm Jess, and I just want to say it was a joy working with Tom, and there's a lot more to Tom's story, and he's just an amazing person, so check it out in the anthology.
Okay. Mermaid City by Tori Beeman and Emily. Inspired by my mom, Lynn Beeman, and Jenny Jones, a good friend, and our amazing trip to the Jersey Shore.
Once there were 3 sister mermaids who traveled from beach to beach. The oldest sister was named Aries, and she had long mint green hair and a dark blue tail that shimmers when she swims. The second oldest sister was named Jennifer, and she had long dark brown hair and a royal purple tail that also shimmers when she swims. The youngest sister was named Cotton Candy, and she had long light pink hair and a light blue holographic tail. Even though they traveled from beach to beach, their favorite beach was Asbury Park along the Jersey Shore. One Thursday, Cotton Candy was collecting seashells on the seafloor when she looked up and saw an object floating on the surface of the water. It was moving really fast and making ripples. She swam up to the surface to see what was going on. It turned out the object making ripples was a man on a surfboard. When Cotton Candy swam up to the surface to investigate, the man thought he saw a long fish with light pink hair. So, because this distracted him, he lost control of his board, fell into the water, and started to drown. Cotton Candy rushed into action and rescued him, pulling him ashore underneath a boardwalk. Her sisters followed her underneath the boardwalk. The man was unconscious. Aries said, "How could you save him? How could you save a human?" Just then, the man started to wake up. Aries and Jen leapt back into the water, but Cotton Candy stayed behind. She saw the man was sort of buff and had short, sandy, curly hair. Because the salt water burned the man's eyes, he couldn't open them and couldn't see anything. Blinded, he just started asking, "What happened? What's happening?" not knowing if anyone would respond. Then he heard a sweet young voice saying, "I saved you." He turned to where the voice was coming from, but he still couldn't see. He said, confused, "Thank you." And Cotton Candy already knew she liked him. Then she asked, "What's your name?" He said, "Leonardo Green." Then Cotton Candy kissed him. He slowly opened his eyes, his vision still blurry. "See you soon, Leo," Cotton Candy said. Suddenly, she saw a woman running towards them, so Cotton Candy leapt into the water and hid behind a rock. The woman had short brown hair and was wearing a sundress with flowers and a sun hat. "What happened? Are you okay?" she asked Leonardo. Leonardo said, "I heard someone talking to me. It was a young girl's voice." "You are definitely seeing the doctor when we get back," the woman said. "There's no one here." Then the two left, Leonardo stumbling because he still couldn't see anything but blurs. Cotton Candy watched him leave and wished that she could go with him. Then the 3 sisters swam home, which is just off of Asbury Park, underneath the water. They were all quiet on the swim home. Jen and Aries were a little mad, but Cotton Candy was feeling a little flirty. She realized she had never felt this way before. Even though she was quiet, she was plotting how she could see him again. Once they reached home, they went to bed. When Jen and Aries fell asleep, Cotton Candy swam back up to shore, knowing her sisters wouldn't approve of her seeing him again. She poked her head out of the water and looked all around to see if the coast was clear. Then she army crawled to a beach chair that someone had left on shore, and, with all her might, she climbed up on the chair. During the night, as the water evaporated off her body, her tail transformed into legs. That is the end of our excerpt. We really encourage you to read more. There are many twists and turns to this story.
I'm Emily.
My name is Tom. The bomb title, the set. My father go to the war Vietnam. He the captain. phải là con người Việt Nam ego everywhere. I come to Vietnam every month. To treat my mother and my sister. My father was the partner born. I remember in the morning. My father took my sister. This is saw everything that my father in the neighborhood year he gave me my mother sister when the war was over. He said everybody my book now. He know he could come back and send the letter to my book. The letter I told him not to need to pay. And they need when the war in the war. Mother, go to the museum, do you understand? He worked for the United States. I in Vietnam, and I brought up my father to the war.
Okay, my story is the light in our hearts. By the lovely the truth. And Ryan. So, the reason why I wrote this story is because I want other people to know that you can change your life if you work hard and you are dedicated. That is why I wrote this story. Thank you. Woo.
Hi everyone, my name is Rodney and I work with Charlene, write poems.
What are we doing?
So we're going to start with, we're going to read one of her 4 poems.
Yeah. Read that, right? That right? Oh, goody. The kids play in the park with the dogs. Hitch. They drove 3 trees around. The little one liked to play in the sand or the swing set. Mother pushed them. Your turn.
The hot weather comes. We don't want to sweat in the summer. Don't want to bundle up in heavy winter clothes. Keep cool.
Their picnics too. Hot dogs, potato salad, mixed vegetable. Put it in the cooler. Maybe with something to drink. Cook on the grill and flip
it with tools. It's a joy for everyone who comes. We don't want any rain.
You can get sunburned at the beach, get blisters on your skin. People lie down on their towels. They wear sunglasses and bathing suits. They listen to music on the radio, get changed for the summer.
I've been going to the Virginia. We went to the Busch Garden for the shows, acting, dancing, different costumes.
I went to Texas to see my nephew Nick. He got married way back. I remember the tuxedo.
Go out and get some fresh air. I'm on the porch with the staff. I've been going walk with my walker.
I'll be glad when it gets nice, the days get longer, and I feel joy.
Hi, I'm Maggie. And she wrote a story called which is about her goals of becoming a special education teacher. So the first paragraph's a little bit of background, and then the next part is just like more like to the story. So to become a special education teacher, I had to go through a lot of schooling, and over the course of my schooling, I learned many things. One of the things I had to do was student teach, and I really enjoyed it. I ended up student teaching at a school in the Bronx that was in a pretty bad area. I liked it, but it was far away from home. There was a little girl named Briella who was a student. She was adorable, but she didn't come from a good family. She was very excited about everything, and I admired that about her. By the end of my student teaching, she started to trust me. I remember my last day. I wanted to cry because I would miss Briella and all my students. Briella was also one of the reasons why I wanted to be a special education teacher. Sometimes I wonder about her. I wonder if she's okay. I would love to help more people like her. The weeks went on, and I began to fit more into the schedule and the path of teaching. As time passed, I became closer to other teachers. I noticed Briella was having a really hard time. The other teachers had told me that Briella had gotten placed into foster care. I felt so bad and I wanted to help, but I didn't know how much I could help. I really wished that I could adopt her, but there was no way that I could. I thought that maybe my parents could. They talked about first fostering children with disabilities and then possibly adopting one, but they never did. I decided to ask them, but I was not really sure what they would say. One of their biggest hesitations was that if they adopted her, that Briella wouldn't be able to go to the school where I was teaching, and I really doubted that they would want to. I told them about Briella, and I told them how much she had improved. They wanted to meet her, but they were hesitant. I finally convinced them to come to the city and meet her. Briella was nervous, and she asked me why I couldn't adopt her. That broke my heart. I told her I didn't have enough money or experience, but my parents did. I told her that I would come visit every chance that I could. We decided to meet at a pizzeria because I wanted it to be fun. They fell in love with Briella, even my dad, and they knew that they wanted to take a chance with her. I really wished that I could help her, but I was happy that she was going to be in a good family and be in a better situation than she was in. My parents agreed to move to the Bronx so I could teach her, which I really appreciated. I'm excited for the rest of the year, and already I can tell that Briella and the rest of my students are improving. I love what I do, and I'm so happy that I made the choice to teach them.
Thank you, everyone, again. Please stay and enjoy refreshments. We've got tons of vegetables and tons of cookies as well. So thank you, everyone. Thank you to our participants. You want to say something, Latrice?
Thank you for coming to our presentation. We hope you enjoyed our presentation and that it helped you grow and learn about different people.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you for helping us. This program.
I didn't go, but I didn't go, but the program every year. Every year everyone moving forward.
Thank you, everyone.